The morning sun cast gentle rays over the village, bathing its paths in a serene, golden light. Birds sang melodies, marking the beginning of a peaceful day. I approached Gautama Buddha, my heart weighed with confusion and fear. My hands trembled as I bowed before him, yearning for his wisdom. "Master," I began, my voice faltering like the breeze through restless leaves. "I carry a burden I cannot release." Buddha's gaze met mine, calm yet penetrating, as if seeing the depths of my soul. "Speak freely," Buddha replied, his tone inviting truth without judgment. Like water embracing a thirsty root, I exhaled deeply, attempting to pour out my turmoil in words. "I am afraid to love, afraid to give my heart to another person," I admitted, my voice barely a whisper. Buddha's expression remained serene, an unmoving ocean, reflecting both my confession and the lesson ahead. "Why do you fear love?" Buddha asked gently, his words forming ripples in my stagnant thoughts. "Love feels dangerous," I replied hesitantly. "It opens the door to heartbreak, pain, and loss." Buddha listened patiently, nodding as he absorbed my fears. "Attachment often masquerades as love, chaining the heart," he began, his voice steady. "It teaches you to fear what is beyond your control." I furrowed my brow, struggling to grasp his words as they danced between clarity and mystery. "Attachment?" I echoed, seeking understanding as a child seeks guidance. Buddha gestured toward a nearby tree laden with ripe, golden fruits. "Look at this tree," he said, his tone warm like sunlight filtering through leaves. I turned to observe the tree, its branches heavy with abundance yet unmoved by their weight. The tree bears fruit freely, without withholding its gifts or fearing their loss, Buddha explained, his words steady. "Its roots remain nourished by the earth. Its blossoms promise renewal with every season." I nodded slowly, intrigued yet uncertain how the tree's wisdom applied to my aching heart. Buddha approached the tree, his steps deliberate yet light, and placed his hand upon its trunk. "Imagine the tree feared losing its fruit," he said, his voice gentle but piercing. "Imagine if it refused to offer what it bore." I thought deeply, picturing a tree withholding its fruit out of fear, an image both unnatural and heartbreaking. "The tree would no longer fulfill its purpose," Buddha continued, "and its fear would rob others of nourishment." I stood silent, struck by the truth woven into his parable. Buddha turned to face me fully, his presence grounding yet expansive, like the horizon merging sky and earth. "Do not mistake fear for caution, nor attachment for love," he said, his voice commanding clarity. "Love, when bound by attachment, becomes a shadow of itself, perpetuating suffering." I struggled to respond, my mind caught in the tension between fear and understanding. "How do I love freely, without fear or attachment?" I asked, my voice tinged with desperation. Buddha paused, his silence speaking volumes before he replied. "Begin by recognizing the impermanence of all things, including love itself." I blinked, unsettled by his words yet compelled to grasp their depth. "Impermanence?" I asked hesitantly, feeling a ripple of uncertainty course through me. Buddha gestured toward the horizon, where clouds shifted and danced across the vast expanse of sky. "Love is like the clouds," he began. "They form, shift, and dissolve without clinging to their shapes or boundaries." I gazed at the clouds, their movements both fleeting and graceful, like a ballet without a scripted end. "Love, like the clouds, is neither static nor permanent," Buddha explained, his words a blend of mystery and clarity. "Its beauty lies in its freedom to transform and renew." I felt my heart stir, torn between resistance and surrender to the truth Buddha presented. "But what if love fades or breaks?" I asked, my voice tinged with fear. Buddha smiled gently, his expression free of judgment or impatience, as if meeting my fears with compassion. "Fear of loss only strengthens attachment," Buddha said, his tone unwavering like a steady heartbeat. Freedom lies in embracing impermanence as a gift, not a threat. I pondered deeply, trying to reconcile my fears with Buddha's wisdom, feeling both unsettled and intrigued. Buddha then walked toward a nearby flower, its petals vivid and radiant beneath the morning sun. "Look at this flower," he said, his voice soft yet resonant. "Its beauty is temporary, yet it offers its fragrance freely." I approached the flower, its ephemeral nature highlighting the poignancy of Buddha's lesson. "The flower does not grieve its fading petals," Buddha continued. "It trusts the cycle of life, knowing its essence endures." I knelt beside the flower, touched by its silent yet profound presence. Embodying impermanence without fear. "Let love flow as freely as this flower's fragrance," Buddha said, his tone steady as the earth beneath us. "Release attachment to permanence, and you will find peace in love's impermanence." My heart began to stir, like a closed bud gradually opening to sunlight and nourishment. "Master, I still feel the weight of fear," I confessed, my voice quivering with vulnerability. Buddha's gaze softened, his expression reassuring like a father comforting a trembling child. "Fear is not your enemy," Buddha said. "It is your teacher, guiding you towards self-understanding and liberation." His words resonated deeply, shifting my perception of fear from an adversary to an ally. "Embrace fear, but do not let it control you," Buddha continued, his voice as steady as the mountain. I nodded slowly, my heart absorbing Buddha's wisdom like parched soil receiving rain. How do I begin this journey of embracing impermanence and releasing attachment? I asked, my voice tinged with hope. Buddha's expression remained calm yet purposeful, reflecting both patience and guidance. "Begin with mindfulness," Buddha replied, his tone gentle yet firm, like a guiding hand. "Observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment, allowing them to flow freely." I inhaled deeply, feeling a flicker of clarity amidst the fog of my confusion. Buddha gestured toward the river, its waters glistening and flowing with steady, unyielding grace. "Let your heart be like the river," he said, flowing freely and adapting to the currents of life. I approached the river, its gentle sounds soothing my restless mind. "The river does not cling to its waters," Buddha continued. "It allows them to pass, trusting their return." I gazed at the river, its endless flow embodying the impermanence and renewal of all things. "Let your love be like this river," Buddha said, his voice steady as the current. "Give freely, without fear of depletion or loss." I felt a spark of understanding within me, as if Buddha's wisdom had planted seeds of liberation in my heart. "Thank you, Master," I said, my voice carrying the weight of gratitude and hope. Buddha's expression remained serene, reflecting both compassion and quiet triumph. "Your journey has only begun," Buddha replied. "May you carry this wisdom forward, creating ripples that touch many lives." I bowed deeply, my heart lighter than before, ready to embrace the path ahead. Buddha's teachings lingered in my thoughts, guiding me toward freedom from fear and attachment. As I walked away, the morning sun warmed my path, its gentle rays mirroring the light within my soul. Birds continued their melodies, echoing the peace that now resonated within me. Gautama Buddha's wisdom became my companion, a guiding star in the vast sky of life's uncertainties. Another day, another beginning. As the sun climbed higher, casting shadows that seemed lighter than the burdens I carried, the village buzzed quietly, a symphony of life unfolding as I approached Buddha once again with questions lingering in my heart. His presence under the Bodhi tree was a beacon, calm and inviting amidst the complexities of life. I bowed before Buddha, hoping for guidance on a question that had haunted me since our last meeting. "Master," I began, my voice steady yet fragile, "I understand impermanence, but my heart still struggles to find peace. The past feeds the present but should not imprison it. Embrace the now, I fear that I cannot love freely, I confessed. My words echoing the vulnerability I wished to transcend. Buddha gestured for me to sit beside him, his movement as deliberate as the turning seasons. Fear is a natural companion to attachment, Buddha said, his tone carrying both compassion and depth. Yet fear need not lead you astray. I nodded, listening attentively, as though his words were lanterns illuminating my path. Allow me to share a teaching, Buddha began, his voice calm and purposeful, like the steady hum of nature. There once lived a swan in a still lake, graceful and unbound, leaving ripples where it moved. I pictured the swan in my mind, its elegant form mirroring the peace I sought but felt unable to attain. The swan's ripples touched the banks, fading gently without resistance or regret, Buddha continued, his words painting vivid images. The swan did not grieve the vanishing ripples, for its purpose was not to possess but to flow freely. I nodded, feeling a faint light of understanding emerge within the shadows of my doubt. Love is the swan gliding across the lake, Buddha said, his tone imbued with both clarity and warmth. It creates ripples but does not cling to them, trusting the lake's infinite expanse. I listened deeply, letting his words settle into the depths of my heart. Buddha's gaze shifted toward the horizon, where the sky met the earth, endless and profound. To love freely, let go of your desire to control the outcome, Buddha advised, his voice firm yet compassionate. The heart that clings grows weary, but the heart that trusts remains light. I furrowed my brow, struggling to reconcile my longing for connection with Buddha's lesson on freedom and trust. But what if love is not returned? I asked, my voice heavy with both curiosity and fear. Buddha's expression softened, his patience unwavering, as though he had anticipated this question. Love given freely expects nothing in return, Buddha replied, his tone steady and serene, like the flow of a river. Its value lies not in reciprocity but in its essence, which flows from your own boundless heart. I paused, letting his words resonate within me, like ripples spreading from a single drop of water. Begin by embracing the impermanence of love, trusting that its presence alone is a gift, Buddha added, his wisdom clear. I nodded slowly, my mind contemplating his words like a seed seeking to grow within fertile soil. Buddha gestured toward the village, its daily rhythm unfolding in harmony beneath the morning light. Look at the people around you, Buddha said, his voice gentle yet purposeful. Each moment you share with them is a reflection of love's impermanence. I turned to observe the villagers, their interactions infused with both joy and fleeting sorrow, much like the cycle of seasons. They laugh, they grieve, and they love, knowing that each moment is transient yet deeply meaningful, Buddha explained. I felt my heart stir, acknowledging the beauty in both the fleeting and the enduring. Love is not a possession to be kept but a gift to be given without hesitation, Buddha continued, his voice steady. I nodded, feeling a wave of clarity wash over me, as though his words had illuminated a truth I had long sought. Let the ripples of your affection touch others freely, without fear of their return or permanence, Buddha said. His gaze remained calm yet piercing, reflecting both wisdom and compassion for my journey. Release the chains of attachment and fear, and you will discover love's true essence, Buddha concluded, his words resonating deeply. I bowed once more, my heart lighter yet determined to carry his wisdom forward. Another day, another teaching, as Buddha's words continued to shape my understanding of love's impermanence and boundless nature. Another day, another moment of seeking, as the winds whispered across the temple grounds. Carrying with them scents of blossoms, I walked with quiet determination toward Buddha, my heart yearning for a final piece of wisdom to complete my understanding. He sat beneath a flowering tree, its petals drifting softly to the ground, a vision of serenity. I bowed respectfully, feeling both reverence and an unspoken urgency to grasp the essence of his teachings. Master, I began, my voice steady but tinged with longing. How can I truly free myself from the chains of attachment? Buddha's gaze met mine, his eyes reflecting compassion and an infinite depth of wisdom. Freedom from attachment requires not the rejection of love, but the acceptance of its impermanent nature, Buddha replied calmly. How can I embrace love's impermanence without sorrow? I asked, my voice trembling as I voiced my deepest doubt. Buddha gestured toward the scattering petals, their dance both graceful and fleeting under the morning sun. Consider these blossoms, Buddha began, his voice as steady as the tree's roots. They fall not in despair, but in harmony. I watched the petals closely, their descent embodying both grace and inevitability. Like the natural rhythm of life, the blossoms do not grieve their fall, for they trust in the cycle that sustains their return, Buddha explained. Love, like the blossoms, flows in cycles, Buddha continued. Its ending is not a loss, but a transformation. I pondered his words, feeling a flicker of clarity amidst the shadows of my lingering fear. But how do I let go of love without closing my heart? I asked, my voice tinged with vulnerability. To release love does not mean to abandon it, Buddha replied. It means to honor its presence and allow its passing. I nodded, feeling both challenged and inspired by the truth woven into his words. Buddha gestured toward a distant mountain, its peak shrouded in a gentle mist under the morning light. Climb the mountain of your heart, Buddha said, his tone filled with both encouragement and quiet authority. Each step reveals a new horizon, yet the journey itself must be embraced. I imagined the climb he described, its challenges and rewards reflecting the path of love and detachment. The summit is not the goal, but the journey, Buddha continued, his words resonating with profound simplicity and wisdom. To love without attachment is to walk the path with an open heart, free from fear and grasping. I listened intently, feeling the seeds of understanding begin to take root within my soul. Let your love be like the flowing river, Buddha said, gesturing toward the nearby waters. Glistening under the sun, a river does not hold onto its waters. It flows freely, nourishing the lands it touches without hesitation. I approached the river, its movement reflecting both serenity and power, embodying the essence of Buddha's teaching. Release your heart's burdens into the river, Buddha advised, his voice gentle yet unwavering, and trust its flow. I closed my eyes, imagining my fears and attachments dissolving into the river's endless current. Love is not diminished by its release. It is renewed, Buddha added, his words echoing deeply within me. I opened my eyes, feeling a sense of lightness, as though the river had carried away some of my heaviness. Master, I began, my voice steady yet filled with gratitude. Your teachings guide me toward a freedom I have long sought. Buddha's expression remained serene, his presence embodying both wisdom and compassion. You possess the strength to release attachment and embrace impermanence, Buddha said. It resides within you, waiting to awaken. I bowed deeply, feeling both humility and resolve as I prepared to carry his wisdom forward in my life. The petals continued to fall, their descent a graceful reminder of the cycles that govern all existence. Another day, another beginning. As Buddha's words settled into the depths of my being, guiding me toward freedom and peace. Speak, child. What troubles you today? I hesitated briefly, searching for the words that could express the depths of my uncertainty. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.